Hello out there, nerds, dorks, geeks, and what have you. Welcome to the Nerd Paradise Podcast. We have a bit of a different edition tonight, given that our lovely host, Marky B, is currently away on vacation.
Yes,
so it's
lost somewhere in the Philippines, I believe.
Hopefully not too lost in his home and native land, which is actually not here. So yeah.
Technically, he was born here, so
okay. And he's gone back to the motherland for a little while to see some family, have some fun, get some sun while we're being rained on and being subjected to Mother Nature's hot and cold flashes. So,
make of that what you will.
So tonight we have our spawn of hell, Matthew.
And our concerned citizen, Harvey, here to do a special podcast, not a full length, focusing mostly on just one thing and one thing only.
Tonight we went out and we saw the new Avengers movie.
Oh God! Oh my God!
Gotta say, we can both agree, it's everything we wanted in this movie.
And more.
Yeah, everything we wanted it to be. The first big thing for me, apart from the fact that it is an Avengers movie, and apart from Robert Downey Jr., I must say, was to learn that it was directed and partially written by the man himself, Joss Whedon. I have tremendous respect for this person.
If you are not sure who Joss Whedon is, oh God, have you been living under a rock?
You might be familiar with some of his work.
Yes.
Like the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Angel.
The spin-off of Buffy. There's also, more recently, the sadly canceled Dollhouse.
Yes. Back in the early 2000s, there was Firefly.
Yes,
which nerds still hate Fox over for canceling.
Mm-hmm. The show that sparked his bromance with Nathan Fillion.
Yes. But thankfully we did get Serenity, which was still really damn good too.
Mm-hmm. And even more recently, he was the writer in charge of Cabin in the Woods, a movie that Matt and I also recently saw, and we must say
he did a good job. He did a great job.
I am not one for slasher-type horror flicks, but I gotta say, hell yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, it had a very Buffy feel to it.
Yeah, they really included some of that to it. Joss Whedon brings a lot of what he brings to a picture is his humor and his writing. The dialogue in his works are great, and that translates really well in Avengers. It was that was a big attraction to the movie for me, especially, as if it wasn't big enough anyway.
Yes, the characters' dialogue just flowed off of each other. Everyone bounced back their lines clearly. You knew who was saying what. Everyone had their big quotable pieces. There's not a single line in this movie where, if you really sit back and think about it, you can't get a smile at least over.
So, as the movie starts, what do we begin with?
Wait. What we begin with is spoiler warning.
Yeah. Considering it hasn't been out for all that long, it is very, very wise and fair to issue a spoiler warning.
Yes, we won't say... No, screw it. We'll probably say everything because we can't control ourselves.
So if you're worried about being spoiled for the story or anything with the movie in itself,
stop listening at this point, and we thank you for adding to the view count at least.
We appreciate your viewing, but we don't want to ruin this stuff for you. This movie is worth seeing for the experience.
Yes. Anyone that is saying to themselves, nah, I'll wait for the DVD.
Nope.
I will beat you to death with that DVD box if you don't see this movie in theaters.
And they're pretty flimsy, so he'll have to get creative.
Oh, I have my ways.
So the movie starts off with science, as any good movie should.
Yes. Again, proving that age-old adage of, men know not what he do. Boy, oh boy, do they not know what they do.
It's like the caveman just discovers fire and tries to wave it around. He doesn't know how to use it yet, which is sort of like what they're doing with the I'm lost on the word exactly.
Let's just go with the Cosmic Cube, which is the name mostly used in the comics.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Harvey can remember that easier.
So it's this little cube made purely out of energy. Pardon me there. And
but those of you for wondering what it's called in the movie, it's the Tesseract.
Tesseract, that's the one.
Or Tesseract, whichever pronunciation you want. They use both in the movie.
Nothing to do with the Tesla coil, just so you know.
No.
Although I'm sure it would be pretty good at keeping mosquitoes away. So, they're trying to figure out how to use this. It's not going very well. They can't stabilize it. All of a sudden, oh my god, portal. Oh my god, Loki. Asshole with a big stick. A shiny stick. And he goes and he blows shit up. And he brainwashes one of the people who is supposed to be an Avenger. And this big-time scientist guy.
Yes.
And they storm out of there.
The Avenger he brainwashes is Hawkeye. Yes, fans, he brainwashed Hawkeye, which means that we don't get as much Kyle Renner as you want in this movie, because most of the time he's just a silent lackey of Loki.
The first half of the movie and most of his screen time, I would say.
Yeah.
About maybe 40 to 50% of his screen time.
I would say 40 just because he did get a lot of good shots in at the last part of the movie.
He got a lot of good shots in.
Yeah, that's my point. I can do punch too.
Yeah, so he storms out of there. And then your Aunt Robin, Maria Hill is there, and she's one of the last people with Nick Fury who's alive in S.H.I.E.L.D. because this portal got unstable and fucked shit up.
Yeah, that whole S.H.I.E.L.D. base kind of imploded on itself.
You would think an organization named S.H.I.E.L.D. would have better protection.
To be honest, most of the time in the comics, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents don't even wear bulletproof vests. Not that they'd be of much use against gods, demons, and what have you, but still, you'd think.
At least keep up appearances.
Yeah, at least appear competent.
So,
but yes, Loki gets away with the Cosmic Cube.
And
with
Hawkeye
and
Mr. Scientist.
Yeah, Dr. Slevik.
Like I said, Mr. Scientist.
From the Thor movie.
And Fury goes around, starts assembling the Avengers, and he's all the while talking to some council that we don't really get to see, and we don't know their motives, but
who aren't really important. That's the one thing that honestly was made just for this movie, because there's no such council really in the comics. The closest thing you get to a shadowy organization in Marvel would have to be... Let's see, good shadowy organization in Marvel. The Illuminati. Yes, the Illuminati would be a good example of that. The 4 strongest members, each representing a different facet of hero. You have Charles Xavier representing mutants. You got Iron Man, Tony Stark representing skilled humans. You have Doctor... No, is it Doctor Strange?
Or is that Mysterio?
No, it's Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange representing magic users, and Namor representing people of the sea, subspecies kind of things, metahumans essentially. And one more. And then Mr. Fantastic representing those that gained powers later in life.
So miscellaneous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
they're the secret organization that is in Marvel sometimes, but...
Strange how Marvel's Illuminati is actually supposed to be beneficial and, benevolent and all that.
Not exactly. They kind of did cause a couple of issues with their decisions.
Okay. So, throughout the movie, Nick Fury is kind of arguing with this council who want to do a bunch of extreme shit, and he's saying, no, I've got this under control. I'm doing this. Which is, I think maybe they put them in so that it would give Samuel L. Jackson more to yell at, which personally I won't complain about.
No, because then he'd yell at us.
It's a 3D movie, so if he actually came out of the screen and yelled at us, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And a little terrifying. And when you had a gigantic pop already while the movie's going, that's something you want to be careful about, getting all frightened.
Speaking of a little segue when it comes to pop, at least at the Scotiabank Theatre, they do have these brand new pop machines, which me and Harvey quite enjoyed.
Yeah, it's something Coca-Cola's doing, and somehow they contain, I think, over 100 flavors of different pop.
Yeah.
It's automated. You just tap buttons, and then you push a button, and then you get pop.
Yeah.
It's pretty
They've
sweet.
got pretty much any kind of Coca-Cola you can imagine. Any cola product you can imagine, more than likely they have. They even have Pib.
Mind you, he's dropped the Mister. He's going like Madonna or Cher. He's just Pib.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the movie.
Yeah, back on track here.
So, yes, Nick Fury decides to get the Avengers together, even though the project technically has been scrapped.
Mm-hmm. We see him going around recruiting people.
Yes.
Other Avengers recruiting each other.
Yes, so right now what we see, Nick himself gets in contact with, well, he doesn't need to get in contact with because he's already in one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. buildings. Captain America.
Mm-hmm. We have
Steve Rogers, for those of you who want his real name.
We have Black Widow.
Yes,
Natasha Romanoff.
Who is currently interrogating a Russian weapons dealer, even though she's the one tied up in a chair.
And still manages to brutally kick their asses.
Yeah. I think she may have killed that one Russian guy.
I was glad the way they did it, because at first it kind of looked like she was being set up and she'd have had to be saved by backup. But no, she just fucked shit up on her own.
Yes, which is a good way to show that she's badass.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she didn't have her badass scene in Iron Man 2 also, but still.
Yeah.
It's a good way to show that she can keep up with the big boys.
Mm-hmm.
But she's tasked with the unfortunate thing of recruiting Bruce Banner, a.k.a. the Hulk. While Agent Coulson gets the fun job of recruiting Tony Stark. Oh, Agent Coulson. We'll get to that in a bit.
You know, when she was going after Bruce Banner, he kept calling him the other guy. I wish just once he'd have called him the big guy. So much potential there.
Yes, but...
We don't like to let him come out.
Yeah, but on the plus side, despite all the opportunities, nobody threw a penis joke in there.
I suppose not.
They saved their one penis joke in the movie for a very good opportunity.
And of course, it's delivered by none other than Tony Stark.
Yes.
Who he gets visited by a.
That's later.
Okay.
Come on, we'll try and keep chronological here.
Okay.
So yes, they come together at the Special S.H.I.E.L.D. base, the Helicarrier, which is essentially a giant battleship that can fly.
You levitated my battleship.
Yeah. Which at that point comes a pretty funny scene between
Steve Rogers and Bruce Banner.
No, not Bruce Banner. Steve Rogers and Nick Fury. When they're lifting off and he hands him a $10 bill. Because earlier they made a bet that if there was ever something that Steve Rogers
could now be surprised by,
he'd give him $10. So they're just standing at the bridge, they're rising up into the air. He just turns around, takes out money, gives him, and keeps walking.
Thank you, Joss. That was great.
Yes. It's those subtle things that make it work.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed that we were watching the movie. There were a lot of things we picked up on, and we were laughing our asses off that not a lot of other people reacted to.
Yes, but then again, all those people left early.
That's true.
We'll get to that at the end. So, anyways, they get them all recruited. They're in the air. And we go back to Loki, who turns out is going to Germany to get some special metal that'll let him use the cosmic cube better.
Mm-hmm. Because he wants a portal. Surprisingly, no cake.
Yeah. And no homicidal robot in this one.
No, actually, I mean... there's a human inside of Iron Man.
He's not homicidal, though.
Give him a little bit of alcohol, see what you do.
No, that still doesn't count.
Okay.
But, yeah, so they invade a German gala, which leads to probably one of the most brutal scenes in the movie, where Loki slams a guy onto what essentially looks like a table for human sacrifice.
First of all, he storms into the party.
He doesn't storm in.
Okay,
he walks in calmly in a swank-ass suit.
And then pimp canes a guy out of the way. Just totally takes out this magical staff and whoom!
Yes, the magic staff is his special weapon in this, where he uses it for his mind control and other such things.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, he flips the guy onto this table that looks remarkably like an altar thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
takes
Germany.
Takes out a little device and jams in the guy's eye.
Yeah, it looks innocuous enough at first. Then it opens up with all sorts of teeth and pointy things and makes a very, very unsettling worry noise.
And he just jams in the guy's eye and just...
All this for a retina scan to break in and get some metal.
Yeah. Like, you couldn't just... Oh, I don't know, low-key. Use your little teleportation powers.
Maybe hold the guy up and rub his face on the scanner for a little while until it eventually clicked and gave you the barcode.
Yeah, but no, you pretty much literally had to scoop the eye out of his skull.
I don't think he even took it out. He just jammed it on there until it got a full scan of it, so you have the whole eyeball and then just boop.
I'm pretty sure he killed the guy, though.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, and at that point, the first fight scene of the movie really breaks out, where it's Captain America taking on Loki.
And actually doing pretty well at first.
Yes, considering.
Yeah, because Laser Man still can't get through the shield. Because Loki's special stick lets him shoot these high-powered lasers.
But Captain America's shield, of course, is made out of vibranium, which is a special metal in the Marvel world, which they really don't go into in the movies, but if you're a fan, nothing breaks it.
Is it related at all to adamantium?
Adamantium was the attempt at recreating vibranium.
Okay.
Yeah. Vibranium's stronger. There are times in the comics, though, where Wolverine's claws do cut through the shield, though that's attributed to the fact that he has his full metal skeleton's weight added onto it, plus the slashing, which helps.
Okay.
But anyways, back to the movie, and then of course Iron Man comes in, hacking over the radios of Shield to play Black Sabbath. Was it Black Sabbath?
AC/DC.
AC/DC? All right. I was thinking Black Sabbath because he wore a Black Sabbath shirt throughout the whole movie.
He did. But he's playing AC/DC's Shoot to Thrill as he flies in and just totally careens into Loki. Kind of kicks his ass for a second there.
Yeah, kicks his ass and Loki, quote unquote, surrenders.
Mm-hmm.
So as they're taking him back, who appears but Thor?
What's up, bro? Ah!
Which we get a good back and forth between Thor and Loki. Right before Iron Man interrupts by tackling Thor.
Yeah, a pretty cosmically awesome time. It's just perfectly timed there.
Yeah, like Thor and Loki are talking, and Thor says, "Now, brother, listen to me," and then bam! And Loki's just standing there. Well, I'm listening.
Yeah, because you see, Mr. Stark and Thor haven't been formally introduced yet. Surprisingly, no one who's there on the ship watching at the time knows to say, "Oh, we know him. He's cool."
Yeah, nobody says, "No, he's one of the good guys."
Unfortunately, Thor doesn't have a cell phone. Hey, what are you doing down there? We need him. No, you fuck off. We need him.
So, they brawl, which ends when Captain America, who had to get there via parachute because, well, he can't fly.
And, Soldier Man.
Yeah. Stops the fight after Thor's hammer hits his shield and decimates the force around him. Now, while that shield can absorb all the power of the hammer, you would think that at least Captain America's arm would be hurting.
You would think so, yeah. But then again, he's Mr. Super Soldier, so he's probably a little used to that.
A little, but at the same time, that's the freaking wrath of the Thunder God.
That's true.
Speaking of, a little funny scene there, because Captain America is all-American, Mr. Goody Two-Shoes and everything. He's dealing with two Asgardian gods, and he still has the balls to say, There's only one God, and I'm sure he doesn't dress like that.
He's still operating under the notion of one nation.
Yeah, still operating under the Christian belief system, which works for him, but still, it's funny.
So we have
their brawl, good times. Everyone gets their hits in. Mind you, this still isn't a big fight in the movie, so we're getting there.
Mm-hmm. But as they build, the fight scenes actually get better and better.
Yes.
It's not all out all at once. It kind of builds up and involves more people. It was really, I like the progression there.
Yes. So after the little disagreement is fixed up, and nobody questions why Loki didn't run away when he was being left alone on that mountain there.
Well, I mean, really, 2 of the guys down there can fly. They would have found him eventually.
Loki can teleport.
Perhaps. I don't know. Well, yeah, no one questions why he's...
Yeah, no one really questions it, but whatever. They get him there. They put him in the prison that was originally designed for the Hulk. Honestly, a prison like that wouldn't really do much, but whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's only so much you can do when it's plummeting 30,000 feet.
It's the Hulk, though.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't have held him on 30,000 feet. He'd break it open, jump off of one of the sides of it, and land where he wanted to.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. He's plummeted from higher. On his own 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, going on, so... There it is. Everyone's finally gathered on the ship, excluding Hawkeye, who's on his way, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all having their little banter moments. Everyone's doing their back and forth. All this stuff is just screaming Joss Whedon writing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Loki's sitting there in the cell, acting like the smug kid in detention.
Yeah. Like, the best line would be from Samuel L. Jackson. Everyone's here on the ship, but why is it that I feel that he's the only one that actually wants to be here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have the back and forth. I really liked the dialogue they had between Tony Stark and Bruce Banner.
Yeah, a little back and forth sciencey talk.
Mm-hmm.
While it was technobabble, yes, but it made sense that the 2 science geeks would be doing the technobabble.
Mm-hmm. Tony Stark is a good poster child for nerds.
Yes.
Although he's more like a man-child.
Yeah. Oh god, if it weren't for Pepper Potts, that company probably would have stocks would have dropped so bad.
Oh yeah. That's something I noticed. Pepper Potts got a little bit of screen time, but most of the significant other thing didn't really go on. They showed Natalie Portman's face for a little bit when they assured Thor she was safe.
Yeah.
But she didn't have an actual part in the movie.
But at least they mentioned her.
They did.
Yeah.
And they showed the flashback with Captain America with the...
Yeah, because you can't really show the who's alive after that because it's 70 years later.
Yeah. Technology's not that good. So, it eventually gets to this point where they're all kind of infighting.
Yeah, but it's all through what they're showing, probably being influenced by Loki's staff.
Mm-hmm. He's remotely fucking with things.
Yes.
Go.
This is after he gets interrogated by Black Widow, who really just screws with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he thinks he's screwing with her the whole time. He thinks he's in control, and then she turns around. Thanks for the information.
Yeah, she's good at turning stuff on its head with giving the whole weak, fragile, humanized female thing. And then, she's very good at playing people with that.
Yeah, it works for her. But yeah, so they're all infighting, and then suddenly Hawkeye and his commando unit attack the helicarrier.
Blow up one of the 4 engines, so everything's already going screwed up. And then they're infiltrating, they're dressed up in shield gear, so it's hard to tell until they start shooting at you that they're the enemy.
Yeah.
And
well,
then,
luckily most people on that ship weren't wearing the gear, at least. They were all in either spandex suits or in actual suits.
Yeah, so while this is going on, they're trying to take care of the engines.
The team's been separated. Iron Man and Captain America are working on fixing the engine.
Bruce Banner finally loses his shit and hulks out.
Yeah, he hulks out bad, almost killing Black Widow.
Yeah, if she weren't as spry as she was, then she wouldn't be anymore.
Yeah, and then comes the fight that we've all wanted to see in this movie, Thor versus the Hulk. And they go blow for blow, toe for toe.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, just
a lot of chaos.
Wham, bam. All over the ship, they're going at it. And honestly, out of anyone there, who else could go toe to toe with the Hulk?
No, not Iron Man.
No.
He'd be like SWAT.
Yeah, not only if he was in his Hulkbuster armor, which they didn't have in this movie.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty niche card for him to play, anyway. Considering he's just met the guy.
Well, he knows the guy, right? But he hasn't really put any investment into that kind of armor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all going on. Chaos all over. Loki escapes. And then comes the saddest part of the movie. Agent Coulson. Phil.
He gets owned.
He gets killed by Loki.
Mm-hmm.
The man that's been in almost every Marvel movie of this franchise dies. He takes one for the team.
And what is it for? So that they'll all have something to avenge now.
Yes. At least he gets in a shot at Loki before he dies.
Quite literally.
Yes. He shoots him with a gun based off technology from the robot that you see in the Thor movie.
Yeah. He kind of blows him up at a bad point. He starts engaging him in this deep and very Destiny-related dialogue. Loki gets cut off a lot with violence in this movie, and I like that.
Yes. Which is good, considering.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't let the villain monologue too much.
He's kind of a petulant asshole.
Yeah, Tony Stark's the fun kind of man-child. Loki's the kind of man-child that you want to slap.
Yeah.
So shit's gone down. The teams kind of get separated, and Agent Coulson gets killed. Nick Fury, in all his well-to-do knowledge, uses this to get the team together, convinces them that they need to come together and work together. Mostly it's to Iron Man and Captain America, who were already working together anyways.
Mm-hmm.
While everyone else is all everywhere else.
Yeah, he couldn't wait a few minutes to have everyone come to the bridge for the meeting.
Yeah.
Mind you, Thor is...
Now, while all this is going on, Hawkeye does get his sense knocked back into him, and he joins the Avengers officially.
Mm-hmm. At this time, both Thor and Hulk are MIA, because...
they got thrown off the ship.
Yeah.
Hulk by a jet who... the guy really did not know what he was doing.
And it was friendly fire, too. He was doing it to distract him. It wasn't even the enemy. He jumps on a freaking jet and rips the guy out. The guy tries to parachute away, and Hulk goes, nope, grabs him and throws it.
Luckily, the guy's parachute's still deployed, but still.
Yes.
And the Hulk gets launched, while Thor gets put into the cage that Loki's into, and gets sent careening...
into a field of dandelions and...
Yes.
Lots of other wildlife and weeds and all that. So we have him wandering through the field for a little bit as kind of a strange and just out there
tranquil
aside.
kind of moment, which is kind of weird considering. While Hulk somehow lands in a warehouse without hurting anyone.
Yeah, an old guy gives him his pants back and asks him if he's an alien.
Which is kind of funny considering that he actually assumed the guy would shrink.
Well, if the Hulk out lasts for more than 4 hours, then you know there's a problem.
So, anyways... I
mean, who can rage hard that long, really?
And this is why Harvey did not write this movie, because unlike Mr. Whedon, who did resist the jokes, he could not resist the penis jokes.
It's right there. It's right there.
Doesn't mean you have to attack the low-hanging fruit, Harvey.
Oh, no one should attack the low-hanging fruit. That's just mean.
So, anyways, Loki escapes, and they're off to New York.
Because they figure out that he's going to use the one place that has the right energy source to power this portal, the newly appointed...
Stark Tower.
Yes. His monument to...
himself.
Yeah, pretty much another unmentioned penis joke, really.
Yes.
It's Tony Stark.
Yeah. He needed to build something that could house his ego. It wasn't big enough.
And so
it powers the cube, the portal opens, and shit gets real in New York. The army invades. For those of you that don't know, the army that's invading are the Skrulls.
Okay, that's what their deal is.
Yes, the Skrulls from the comics. They're there, they're invading, it's their army, yeah.
Are they a totally mechanized race, or are they
They made them mechanized in this one, just for plot convenience sakes, but they're actually shapeshifters in the comic book world.
Okay.
But it was still the Skrulls.
Okay.
But anyway, so they invade, they attack, and the team finally comes together.
New York really gets fucked up a lot.
Yes, but then again, we don't live in New York.
Mm-mm.
So the team comes together, finally, everyone gets their moments where they don their costumes or everything. Iron Man gets his moment with Loki. And where the one penis joke in the movie pops up.
It sure does.
Yeah, Loki and Iron Man are chatting at the Stark Tower. Iron Man offers Loki a drink. Nothing happens out of that because Loki just thinks he's beneath him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Loki tries to use his staff on Iron Man to take control of him.
What he has to do is he takes the bladed end of this
and puts it at somebody's heart.
Well, not really their heart. It did it right at their sternum.
Yeah, but what he's aiming for is the heart.
Yeah, it's supposed to be at the heart.
Because I remember when he took over Hawkeye, he said, "You have a lot of heart."
Ah, he did. So, of course, he goes and he tries to poke Tony Stark. But
he's poking, of course, the battery that Tony runs on. Tries it twice. And he says...
Attempt again.
Once,
poke, poke. Huh.
Normally this works. And then Tony Stark goes on about a mini rant about unable to perform.
It was pretty well placed.
Well,
tastefully done and tastefully
he
limited.
plays at the right moment.
So,
yes,
they all start coming in, and they're defending the streets. They're getting civilians out.
Yeah,
Captain
showing how
America's
badass
really
they
big on
are.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone fighting.
So they're all waiting for Bruce Banner to come.
Because they figure, well, there's an army. Things need smashed. So essentially they're stalling for time.
Yeah, they go through this big fight sequence where they take down this gigantic mechanized eel
Well, they
type
don't.
thing.
They're fighting until Bruce Banner shows up on a moped.
What did I miss?
Yeah. And he hulks out, and he smashes the giant thing with just one fist. Just roar, slam, the thing's done.
Yeah, it was actually pretty amazing.
And at that point, Captain America gives instructions, which is... He gives normal instructions to everyone else, then turns to the Hulk, goes, Hulk, points at him, smash. Because that really, what else are you going to tell the Hulk? What, are you going to tell Hulk, flank him from the right and then lead him down this alley? No, you're going to tell the big, mean giant to smash things.
Right, sir. I'll make a feint to the north, and then... No, Hulk doesn't work that way.
No. He smashes. And does he ever?
Oh, hell yeah. Some of the most energetic scenes in the whole fight are when Hulk is just messing stuff up.
There's one scene where one of those big things is about to ram into a building, and there's a bunch of people in office space there running away, and then suddenly the Hulk's running to the other end of the building, and they see him, and they just all stop dead, start partying it, just... No one knows which way to go.
No one can figure out which one is the mouth of hell and which one's the asshole of hell. But either way, you're screwed.
Yeah. So the Hulk jumps onto it and starts bashing away at it, ripping it apart. At that point, Thor lands on it, and without really knowing it, they work together to take the thing down.
Mm-hmm. Shocks the shit out of it.
Yeah. He uses his hammer to bash in the final piece, and it lands in Grand Central Station. There they are sitting side by side, bashing over their good work. Then out of nowhere, the Hulk, BAM! Sends Thor flying.
Very self-satisfied to a fight unfinished.
Yeah, just you hit me. I hit you back. We even now.
Oh.
That kind of thing.
They had a lot of fun with Hulk, though.
Yes, they did. Which I personally feel he's finally been given justice.
Mm-hmm.
Where you actually get some sense of character to him.
Mm-hmm. There was lots of justice done to the character. You could say it's like he's in a league of his own now.
Yeah.
So
but anyways, the fight goes on. Everyone's doing their parts. Things are being destroyed left and right by everyone.
Loki's still being a smartass.
Hawkeye's
asshole.
shooting things down, doing impossible shots like he's known for.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, Black Widow gets up to the machine, and they realize that they can use Loki's staff to turn it off.
Because otherwise, it had this impenetrable shield over it.
Yeah, but Loki's staff uses the same power as the Cosmic Cube, so it can get through the shield. So they're going to do that. At that point, the Hulk jumps to Loki's location, which is at Stark Tower, and Loki gets all pissed off and indignant. He's just looking at the Hulk, just acting badass, and saying, "You can't do this. You can't touch me. I'm a god," and everything else.
You can't come here and bully me. And Hulk totally cuts him off, grabs him by the legs, and
just
much like a cartoon,
just ragdolls him, throws him around
over his head, back over, just slamming back and forth into the ground.
I whip my Loki back and forth.
I whip my god back and forth. God, back and forth.
Yeah.
Love it.
Just wham, bam, everything just, and then just embeds him in the ground, and just Loki's face, he just.
What just happened here?
Yeah, like he just doesn't know what happened. Like pure shock, your pure brain just went all over the place. Just what?
And Hulk walks away and goes,
Just puny god.
in true Hulk fashion. It was one of the most badass scenes in the movie.
Yes, and funny as hell too. Just I will remember that scene for a long time. Just ragdoll Loki.
It's the kind of shit you might see in a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yeah,
it was
like,
great.
Just all over the place. Loki just did not know what hit him.
Too many tiles to count.
Yeah. Oh.
So
Yeah, while all this is going on, back to Nick Fury, he's dealing with the shadowy organization again, where they decide to send a nuke to New York. Stupid idea as it is, Nick Fury ignores it. But somehow one of his men, two of them actually, because there's two jets that come out, one he stops, another one that flies away, decide, you know what, this seems like a good idea. Let's nuke Manhattan with all its millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy doesn't even freaking hesitate for 1 second to send a nuke in Manhattan. Not even for 1 second.
Well, he doesn't break any stride in his voice, but he does seem to hesitate a little bit. He doesn't go right away.
Not enough. That's not enough of a hesitation. Okay, if the guy was actually thinking about it, there'd be a bit more than that. Especially considering that they've got Jessica and Hover.
That's true. Yeah, so nuke's coming in.
Yeah. Iron Man gets alerted to it, so he goes and grabs it and redirects it towards the portal. At the same time, Black Widow's just about ready to turn it off. He contacts her and tells her that he's going to send the nuke through the portal. Which he does. Blowing up the mothership on the other end.
Things got fucked up.
Yeah. He blows it up, which the mothership was controlling the aliens, which shuts them all down. And the power inside Iron Man's suit finally gives way, so he's slowly falling back down, because honestly, he's just being pushed by the momentum of the explosion at that point.
He's also totally worn out, and he's in space.
Yeah.
An entirely different end of space at that, because it's a portal to pretty much the other side of what?
The universe.
Yeah, the universe. So he's falling through. Meanwhile, they're not seeing him. So they give
Captain America gives the order, shut it down. And of course, like you'd expect from anything like this in movies, at the very last second he makes it through.
He falls through the portal, hits the ground. He's plummeting towards the ground.
And then Thor's about to go and save him. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Hulk!
Hulk catch! Drags us down the building.
Softest landing you can get from the Hulk. And his yell wakes him up.
It's pretty great when...
And the first words out of Stark's mouth, did anybody kiss me?
Because he looks around and sees that there are only a bunch of guys standing over him.
Yeah, he sees Thor, Captain America, and the Hulk.
I'm not sure which is worse.
Yeah. And
Actually,
thank God
no.
they didn't ask the Hulk to perform CPR.
You don't want Hulk resuscitate.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4. No breath.
No torso either.
Jam though.
Yes.
So they got all this done.
Yeah. Everything's safe. And of course, Tony Stark at that point is saying they should go have shawarma.
After everything's done, because he knows this place, so...
Yeah, he knows this place. Oh, it's just 2 blocks away. Great place, shawarma. Let's go get some.
Yeah, this innocuous little minute-long conversation about how he wants to try shawarma when they're all done, because they should take a day off.
Yeah, they deserve a vacation.
Yeah, so New York's all fucked up. They capture Loki.
Yeah.
They
send him back to Asgard with Thor, and the Cosmic Cube goes with them. Everything's good. Everything's great. Roll credits.
Not cool. They're also still talking on the news about all the stuff that goes on.
Yeah, but
Stan Lee makes his standard cameo.
It's there. It's okay.
I'm surprised that almost nobody else reacted to it.
Yeah. Well, people are used to it by now. It happens.
I guess.
Anyway, so continuing on.
It's just...
Credits roll. And people start leaving.
Yeah. And then not maybe 45 seconds later, it's still the graphic.
Yeah, the graphic credits. At the very least, sit through those.
Yeah. And
but no, people are leaving during the graphic credits, and we're just looking and thinking, how many Marvel movies have there been so far?
Like at this point, you have to be very ignorant of the way it goes, or just stupid to not stay for it.
Yeah. So it happens, and then comes the hidden scene. Well, the first scene, yes.
Yes, part one.
Part one, where it's the alien that was in contact with Loki talking to his master. And dun dun dun.
Set up for the next movie.
It's Thanos. For those of you who don't know, Thanos is a badass. A conqueror of worlds, an enslaver of species.
But generally a douche.
Yeah. He'll be in the next Avengers movie, more than likely. Be prepared for it to get much worse before it gets much better. So in terms of what goes on, not the movies. But movies are going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, especially if they keep Joss on. So, next they have the regular credits rolling.
Where 80% of the audience just leaves. Okay. Maybe that's okay if you sat through the first thing. But the movie's been out for a while at this point. You would think you would have heard by now that there's another scene after the credits.
Yeah, not to mention, they always leave something at the very end of the credits.
Yeah.
So you would think they wouldn't just throw it in at first.
There was maybe another... just 10 people left after that. And the theater was fairly packed when we started the movie.
Yeah.
Not fully, but still.
People left because they
didn't know
any better.
Yeah. And the scene plays, and honestly, it's not plot important, but it's just fun to watch. It's all of them
sitting around a table.
Around the table at the shawarma place.
They're all just sitting,
they're eating.
Except for Captain America, who doesn't seem to be fond of shawarma because he's not American, I guess. Yeah. Nobody says a thing. They're just kind of all awkwardly sitting there, eating, looking around at each other.
Eating, tired as hell.
Goes on for about a minute. No dialogue.
Just nom.
And it was a very, very great way to just end it off.
The best thing about this is, from what I heard, this wasn't filmed until about 3 weeks ago.
Okay, that's
just
awesome.
made for the North American release.
Oh,
As a way of saying, yeah, I know UK got it earlier. Here, shawarma.
Yeah, Matt was telling me about there's a tweet on Twitter going around about Avengers, the most expensive shawarma commercial you'll ever see.
Yes. But yeah, it's a good little comedic way of just showing, at the end of the day, they're all people too.
It's a great way to bring it down and just derail all the action that just went on.
Yeah, just all this badass shit just went on. You just saw the big reveal of Thanos. And
I say thank you, Joss.
yes.
I have been a fan of Joss Whedon's work for a long time, and this has further cemented my faith in this man as a creator and as a force in the media.
As a demigod.
Well, don't let him get to that point. But yes,
Well, Robert Downey Jr. is.
yeah, Matt was telling me something about the premiere. And was it here or was it in the UK when he was doing this?
It was the Los Angeles premiere, which just happened at the same time as when it premiered in the UK.
So the Los Angeles premiere of the Avengers. It's got full cast there?
Yes, everyone's there.
Yeah, so Joss Whedon and so-called Robert Downey Jr. making some interesting claims.
Yeah, he's going along the red carpet there into the theater, shaking people's hands. And you know what? What he's doing? Hi, so Tony Stark here. I hope you enjoy my biographies. Right in front of Joss Whedon, just to piss the guy off.
Because, fuck you, he's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he's just introducing himself as Tony Stark, because why the fuck not?
In the next Iron Man movie, he should go, the truth is, I am Robert Downey Jr. Yeah!
Exactly. Like, he was just introducing himself the whole time as Tony Stark, and just the whole acting thing is a side job. If this is Robert Downey Jr. losing his mind again, I say he goes with it.
At least there are no drugs involved. If this is the way it's gonna go, we're in for a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he's not.
If he starts Stark Industries and just gives us free power, sweet.
I wouldn't mind him flying around and destroying things here and there until he gets everything down.
Yeah. But yeah, like, that's us gushing about probably one of the best movies we've seen in a long ass time.
I haven't gone to see a whole lot of movies in the theater over the past maybe year and a half. I've seen some, but this one blew me away.
Yeah. Everything was done right. Everything was written well. There's not a single part in this movie where you get bored. Even the dialogue gets you gripped. Everything's there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes together nicely in one big joygasm.
And if it's not a plot reason, the shits and giggles are present.
Yes. Everyone has their own badass moment. Everyone comes out as the hero that they are in this.
Mm-hmm. You get a proper look and introduction to characters like Hawkeye, like in the second half of the movie when he gets screen time where he's not being controlled.
Yeah, where he essentially plays the sniper position,
Yeah.
just taking out things left and right and just giving instructions on what's going on around the city.
Yeah, he's their ranged support,
Yeah.
and he kicks ass.
Hold on tight, Legolas.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
They gotta admit,
yes.
a guy that shoots that well and fires off exploding arrows and shit, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's funny how every now and then during the movie, the characters that are from Earth are throwing out references to pop culture stuff, and Captain America has no idea what they're talking about until who is it? Nick Fury says it. Something about flying monkeys, and Iron Man just goes, I got that one.
Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America just slams his hands on the table and just goes, I got that one.
Oh, I know that. I finally caught a reference.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there, Cap. There.
All-timer. Yeah, if I were Tony Stark at that point, I would think I'd give Steve Rogers access to his computer.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Here, That's the internet button. Enjoy.
You've got some homework to do, Captain.
Oh God, Captain America discovering 4chan.
Or Catterday. You people these days seem to have a big obsession with cats. What's a cheeseburger?
You would know what a cheeseburger is.
I think they spelled it wrong.
He'd still figure it out.
I don't know. He's old-timey.
No, but yeah, by the time he went up, he got to lolcats.
That's true.
He figured that out.
True enough.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you listen to this and somehow haven't seen the movie yet, 1, why did you not listen to our spoiler warning? 2, why are you listening to this and not seeing the movie? And 3, we don't apologize for the spoilers because we warned you. And 4, go see it!
The first 2 could just be because people love us. But anyhow, definitely go see the movie.
Yes, this is a must-see.
It's definitely a theater experience. I'm personally sometimes a little bothered with my eyes and my head watching the 3D, especially if you tend to fidget around like I do. So I had my head at weird angles, or I was sitting differently, so the 3D was off kilter. It wasn't at the 90 degrees that you need to view it at, and so it messes up a little, and it kind of gives me a headache. But even that, I got used to it, and it's totally worth it for this movie.
Yes.
But at the same time, I personally would still, if I were to see it again, I'd go for the standard.
Yeah, it won't take anything away from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, go see it, enjoy, and we'll be seeing you next time, hopefully with Mark back. And if everything works out, our next one will be a show from Anime North.
Yeah, check out our blog. I've been personally adding some of my own little tidbits here. My own segment called To Whom It May Concern, with more content coming as time goes by. Hopefully we'll be hearing back from Marky B soon about his travel log, if he can get that going.
Yes. Till then, take care of yourselves and keep out of the tall grass.